3 yards in a cloud of dust early on in the game, he eventually is going to break it out. And we saw that again today, David, because as Mike mentioned, Cleveland played a very, very tough game.
Very good.
I mean, Baltimore could not rest its starters, which is why King Henry was in there with 2 minutes left.
And even to that last run that we showed, and that's one of the reasons you even perked up, because you have to be so gap sound on defense. And they were the majority of this game, especially in the first half. I don't even think he had 10 yards. But the second half, you start to try to do more than your job, and that's where they beat you. And then that's hard enough, right? If you're already dealing with Derrick Henry running downhill, having to load the box, but then you got Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things, and that just makes them so much better.
Happy birthday, Derrick Henry, 31, and that is a birthday wish, not only a win, but a huge performance as you take a closer look at the AFC playoff picture. What we know, the Chiefs clinched that first round by home field advantage. They will match up against the Broncos, sending many of their starters. You can see Denver right now still in position to claim one of these postseason spots, where you got Cincinnati and Miami looming and just waiting in the wings. And the Ravens, way to celebrate. Winners of the North. All right, I threw this out there. Joe Burrow could be in that conversation for the MVP. Has this dude done enough, Lamar Jackson, to now win it once again?
Yeah, it's a two-horse race, honestly, for me. Like, I like Joe, but I don't think that his defense has played well enough, and they're just not a good enough team for him to get it, although he should be in consideration. But it's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Like, Lamar just has continued to impress, and that's what I really love about this season. It's why I can't just sit here and say Josh Allen for sure is the MVP, because he probably should be on any other year. But Lamar Jackson has taken his MVP numbers from last year, and he's improved on every one of them. And he's gotten better just from, you take the numbers away, if you look at it just from a film standpoint, this guy is so much better at processing. Some of the throws he made a throw to his right in this game where there was a defender just bearing down and right in his face, perfectly thrown, 15, 20 yards, right on the side before the ball even touches the receiver's hands. I mean, this guy's incredible.
Right, and Dave, we talked about the Ravens offense having to play for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's not going to play for 4 quarters today.
Yeah,
right. You know, he's expected to play in a couple series, and then that's it. So this actual 4 quarters of football with Lamar may give him the advantage if anybody's minds were not made up yet.
And it's pretty spectacular. You had mentioned this to me in the offseason. I got back from Baltimore. You and I were talking. I said, man, I'm a little worried about Lamar. He looks a little thinner than I had anticipated at home. You said, yeah, he didn't really take hits, though. The entire season, I'm just waiting for you were exactly spot on.
Does a good job of just not letting him have the whole shot,
Dude,
the whole
it's just
body.
So slippery. Meanwhile, we take you back to Baltimore right now. Mike Garafolo standing by with a man who is kind of a sack artist. A resurgence of his career. Had one today.
Kyle, you know what I love about Week 18?
What do you love?
NFL fans across, not even Ravens fans, rooting for guys to hit incentives. You get it out of the way early. Can we see the celebration again?
Tell us what we got to do. We got to shout out to everybody. I don't know. I saw there was a prop bet out there, so I think a couple people hit. So hopefully they did. And just awesome play. Happened to make a play. You know, it wasn't the best, right? I was on my back for a sec, and then got up, and here we are, a sack, and we'll take it.
They all look the same in the score sheet, pal. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on the postseason. Look, you've won Super Bowls before. You know what a successful team is. What leads you to believe this team is set up for success heading into the postseason?
You know, I feel very blessed. This will be 9 times in the playoffs for myself in 11 years. This is my 6th division champ, and, you know, I feel very fortunate to be able to be in the playoffs. Like, I have OGs that have played in the NFL a long time before me that didn't get the opportunity to be in the playoffs, or they were there just one time. So I don't take it lightly. We feel super blessed to be there, and, you know, I think we do have the recipe, but we just got to keep getting better and, you know, limit the mistakes and then play complementary football. Tonight, you know, it took a little while, but you saw the floodgates open at the end, and I think that's what we need to do going forward.
You're going to have to play a game here. It's going to be cold. You're going to have to go on the road potentially after that. It's going to be cold. You've got this running game. You can see as the game wears on, teams less and less willing to tackle Derrick Henry. You play good defense. Does this team have the formula to do what it takes to win the postseason?
Yeah, I think you just said everything that needed to be said. I would just, you know, harp and emphasize that it's going to take every 11 of us, whichever 11, special teams, defense, offense, to just keep going. And I'm excited for the playoffs. I think this is going to be a hell of a matchup everywhere. 1 through 7, everybody can win, and Hunger Games is going to start.
Congratulations on a career year. He should have been Pro Bowl season. Don't worry, I'll say it for you.
Thank you.
And congratulations, and best of luck in the playoffs. We'll see you there.
Thank you. Let's go, everybody. Mike G.
Don't spend it all in one place, all right?
I got you. All right.
Mike ain't lying. No question. What a season for Kyle Van Noy. Meanwhile, J.J. Watt, that interception by Michael Pierce is going to be played 5,000 times in the Ravens meeting room. It was awesome to watch the big fella grab that one. Ray Lewis, my boy, saw how far he had to look. Ray Lewis being a truth teller for us. No question, man. It was fun to watch the big fella grab that. Now, look, we can talk all we want about the defense, and it did step up in a meaningful way. I just want to throw one. Oh, actually, let's take a look at it. Pierce. Look at that physique.
I mean, JJ's right. They're going to show this so many times. That's the best part about playing ball, honestly, is the next day you get to watch plays like this after you wrapped up a division title and you get to celebrate your boy. It's hilarious.
He looks like Grimace from McDonald's. That's exactly that. Well done, Michael Pierce. Get a deal done with McDonald's.
Yeah, that's great.
It was awesome. One of those NIL things going down here. On the offensive side, and look, the defense obviously played well today against a Browns team that wasn't throwing out a ton of players. I mean, we saw rotation at the quarterback and the whole thing. Zay Flowers goes down. We got a Pro Bowl wide receiver. I don't know the severity of the injury. Immediately went down holding that knee. They said he was questionable for in a return. Did not see the field again, which is not a surprise. How significant? What's the story around this guy, whether or not he could play or not?
Well, first off, here you're taking a look at it. Yeah. You don't see anything crazy happen here, but he grabs the knee kind of under the knee. He eventually walked off and walked to the locker room, and so we don't know if his return was just like them being safe or if they want to do further imaging or stuff like that to see if there's anything severe there. But if he is not in that lineup, that changes things.
Yeah.
Right. He is a dynamic player, and David, you see this on the film. Short routes, intermediate routes, deep routes. He is an impossible one-on-one cover because his routing is so precise. And plus, you have to account for him in your prep. If you don't have to account for him, you're like Rashad Bateman, who had a great game today, and then the tight end and Derrick Henry. That changes, and they're going to be playing familiar teams in the first round. They're going to be playing Pittsburgh, or they're going to be playing the Chargers, who they've both played already at least once this year, if not more. So Zay Flowers would be a huge loss if he can't play.
Yeah, just the fact that he can move around and walk off the field, walk to the locker room, that's a good sign. But it didn't look great. Just hopefully he's back because, like you said, even the play that he got hurt on, that's one of his main routes that he goes to. They play off coverage. You just rip the ball out there. They load the box for Derrick Henry and for Lamar, and he just gives extra effort yards all the time. He's a great young player, but, man, hopefully he gets back.
Yeah, we'll continue to monitor that situation. If any news on the severity of the injury comes into our newsroom, we will bring it to you right here on NFL Network. Meanwhile,